Our expert in elder law and all things Medicaid, Gary Price, is here to answer an important and big question, which is, when I apply for Medicaid, am I in risk of losing my home? Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, what is the answer to that very important question?
You know, that question is asked as much as the question, am I going to lose all my do I have to spend all my resources before I get on Medicaid? So the answer to that question is you shouldn't lose your home. It's kind of like we talk about on other subjects, Angie. If you do nothing and you kind of let nature take its course, then you very well may lose your home. However, if you're proactive and you plan correctly, you should not lose your home. I can't sit here and say you won't ever, but we can sure do everything we can so that more than likely you won't lose your home.
Well, that leads me to the next question is, what are some common mistakes besides just a mistaken understanding about this? What are some mistakes that we make?
The biggest mistake is oftentimes you talk to other people that had to go through this process and you hear that they transferred their home to one of their kids. And when you do that, there's a lot of things wrong with that. That 5-year look back could come into play. If that comes into play, then we've got some issues with regard to getting accepted to Medicaid. In fact, a lot of times what we do is we undo the transaction, and the child that the transfer was made to transfers it back to the parent so that we can undo it. But that's probably the biggest mistake that people can make, is to transfer their real estate or their home to one of their kids. It creates tax issues for the kids, but it also creates some Medicaid issues for the parent if that happens, that transfer happens within that 5-year look-back period.
All right, so what do we do? How do we plan effectively so that those kinds of issues don't crop up?
Yeah, well, Angie, you know, one size doesn't fit all, so we got to look at your particular situation, but we always want to talk, you know, we want to talk about a trust. Is a trust the right way to do it? You and I have talked about before a transfer on death deed, which is in effect adding a beneficiary to the deed of your home. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that your home stays out of probate. Upon your passing, we want that home to pass immediately to a beneficiary, and we want to avoid that home going into your estate and going through the probate process.
Well, we talked about this so often, but it's just really planning ahead and taking the guidance of an expert, because it is there's a complicated set of issues to deal with.
Well, it can be. It can be. And if you start acting like I mentioned before and you transfer the home just because the neighbor said they did it, now it becomes even more complicated. So you just really want to be careful. And we always talk about planned transfers, and that's what I'm talking about today. Let's talk about your situation and what fits your situation best and plan accordingly.
Gary, do you address this in your book?
I do. Yeah, I do.
And okay, it's on the screen. How do folks get it?
Sure. Give my office a phone call, 812-479-8721. We'll send you a copy of the Medicaid in Indiana.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. Good to see you.
You too, Angie. Thank you.
We'll be back with Lifestyles after this. Stick around.